So, I figured I'd just chat with you guys because there's a few questions that I have. I have a few questions, and maybe you guys can help me figure it out. People's behaviors have been just really weird. Really, really weird lately. I don't know if it's just me being sensitive or what's your guys' experience with people? What is this about? Good morning and happy Sunday. What is this about, guys? I like I don't understand why people are behaving the way they are. So maybe we could chat about what's going on with the world. Venus is in retrograde. Does that make people more assholish? Oops, I spit. Excuse me. Does it? Does it make people more assholish? Because I'm noticing an uptick in assholish behavior. Primarily online. Primarily online. Have you guys been noticing it too, or is it just me? Were you just thinking about me a few minutes ago? I hope good thoughts. I hope good thoughts. Yeah, I see a lot of keyboard warriors. Yeah, I would agree. I would definitely agree. Um, it's just crazy to me. It's crazy to me. People's behavior has become really, really crazy, bordering abusive, actually. It's a time to address deep issues, especially in regards to relationships. If not addressed, it can be messy. I don't have relationships with these people, though. That's the thing. That's the thing. Um, I don't know if maybe I'm just not seeing something because I like to make sure that I hold myself accountable for anything that I do. um, Ooh, that's a good point. Wonder if people are lashing out randomly because they don't know how to lash out on the people causing them the issue, even if it's themselves. That's very, very possible. Like I've had quite a few people lashing out at me online. Like I don't even know you. But if you feel safe enough to blame me and act as if a video that I recorded like weeks ago without ever having knowing you existed was all about you and I'm attacking you, then I mean, go for it. It doesn't bother me none. It just makes me wonder, like, what's going on with humanity? Is it is it because we've all kind of just been, well, this is my life though. Just not going to social functions. Yeah, this is how I exist. So it's not that much of a change for me. Maybe that's what it is. Like I don't understand why people are getting so frantic. Is that what I don't know. I don't know, you guys. All I know is one of these days, um, probably gonna go off on someone. um, I don't believe in Ashtar command. I'm sorry. I just don't. And it's not to say that you're wrong. I just I have very specific feelings and thoughts towards that specific topic, and I don't partake in it like at all ever. What do you guys want to talk about? I don't want this to just be about me whining about wanting to be able to go off on people because I'm getting to a point. I'm super sensitive to the climate of things and it makes me it makes me very like salty. Um, so it's like their cognitive dissonance is causing them to become more aggressive because it's becoming impossible for them to continue living in the matrix of illusions. That sounds so, I don't know, it sounds so new agey. I'm trying to steer clear of those type of well, I don't know if I can steer clear of that. Mhm. Mhm. People are forced to stay home. Might be too much for some, with nothing to distract them from literal reality, not actual reality. Mhm. There are a lot of negative people. I mean, I could say this with no hesitation and no, um I'll just say it. I'm never gonna change who I am. I will gradually evolve as an individual, but I will never modify myself, the way I read, the way I communicate, the words I choose. Um, I will never I will never be fake and try and like put on a show of like love and light. I'm just so positive and like, that's not me. And if people like absolutely need that for their videos, for the free content, go to another channel. Very simple. Go to another channel. I talk about real shit, and sometimes black magic happens. Sometimes I'll have a salty attitude, and I don't deny that. I don't deny that. It's weird because people have become so um, fixated on this weird ass like expectation of everyone should conform to their belief. I don't know if you guys have noticed an uptick in that since the whole like mask thing began, the whole masked debate. Um, People have been getting more and more ballsy about like everybody should do what they believe. I don't think so. The only weird thing that I had is my narcissistic ex. Um, ew. Thank you, gratis. Um, I don't conform. I may appear to conform, but that is a talent. That is a talent. That is a talent because you're able to um, very easily walk that fine line between conforming and um, rebelliousness, for lack of a better word, non-conforming. I don't know. I don't know. My eyes have been weird lately. Like they're blurry, but with the glasses on, they feel tired. I don't It's just been a crazy, crazy energy these past few weeks. I can't say that I'm ready for things to go back to the way they were because the way they were wasn't working either. But I can say I'm ready for all of this to be finished. I am. I'm ready for all of this to be finished. Oh, thank you, A Love. Your realness is what keeps me coming back. Thank you. Like, seriously, thank you. I've been really debating over the past week, just really debating, like, what could really happen if I stop live streaming? What would Michael really do? Nothing. Nothing. And then I'm like, nah, he'd really fuck my ass up. He'd really, yeah, nah, that wouldn't be good. That wouldn't be good. But I get tired of people who really have owned this asinine belief that if you're publicly visible, which then categorically makes you a public figure, that you have to be positive all the time, that people can be abusive towards you, demand things of you, and that you have to just take it. And I don't fucking think so. I don't fucking think so. There's plenty of people on all forms of social media who will bend over backwards, do whatever people want to get more followers, to get all kind of, and I'm just like, I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so. It is 11:11, 83% at 11:11. I wish, Kathy, I was having that same thought this morning. I told my husband, let's go out for breakfast. Luckily, there's nothing open. um, yeah, no, I need to stop. Oh my God, I started a detox program. I want to say it's working. It's working. Let's see. Yeah, people don't get that. It's well, I just read you don't have to exist according to their standards. People don't get that. It's true. They don't get that. They think that you have to accommodate how they want you to look, to act, to read. It's like it's a free thing. I'm giving away a free thing. And then I had someone this shit cracked me up. Someone totally wrote like 3 dissertations in the comments of a Pisces video. They're not even Pisces, okay? Talking shit about Pisces, talking shit about me. Apparently Pisces not allowed to feel anger, not allowed to feel rage. You guys, have I ever tried to make it seem like I don't have anger issues? Are you guys aware that I have anger issues? That I have unresolved rage? Are you guys aware of that? Show of hands. Raise your hands if you're aware that I have rage issues that are primarily kept under the surface. It's not new, right? It's not anything new. I didn't hide that from you guys, right? Yeah, she's like, I don't know if you know this, but you have anger issues. Oh, you don't say. You don't say. Yeah, it's one of those things where I'm never going to go back to the person that I was. The person that I was so watered down, was so choked out of fear of people that I don't know, people that I don't even like, thinking negative of me. I want to show you guys this. I mean, there's salt alternatives. um, Excuse me, Mr. Friday, I understand this is your first time watching. No, you may not get a reading. I'm a Gemini, sun, moon rising to the east and downward spiral to the southwest. That's my husband. Don't listen to him, guys. He's an antagonist. Hold on. Let me just find my first video. I don't know. You go through my videos, and I believe it's the first one that I ever put up. I started this channel in 2016, and then I abandoned it after I uploaded like a video, maybe 2 videos. I abandoned it, and I didn't come back until I think 2019. But my first video, I came across it and I was just like, what the WTF? Because I don't even know that girl at this point. Like, I don't know her at all. I need to find it. I need to find it. Hold on, guys. Have to go to my videos. You guys need to see the difference between who I am now and who I was then. Public. Let me see. Nope. It's gonna take forever. I have quite a few videos. But it's a totally different person. totally different person. And I saw that video again a few months back, and I was just, I had to watch it a few times. I had to watch it a few times because I totally was like, who the fuck was that? Who was that? Who was that? Like, you could hear it in my voice, you could see it in my face. Like, who the hell is that? This is not who I am. Down to the point where I spoke like this because I just really didn't want people to be upset with the things that I was saying. Hold on. I really got to find this. You guys have to see it. Let's keep talking. The IDGAF factor went from -0 to +1000. Yeah. And what's crazy is I've pretty much always been like this, but um I was conditioned, and not to say that my parents are bad people, but I was really seriously conditioned to believe and to really take in that um, I needed to be very uh, docile, very quiet, very gentle, because if not, oh, here, here, you guys, what? Hold on, this is monetized. Oops. Oh,
Okay,
it's stuck.
you guys bear with me. This is gonna take me a second to get.
It's stuck. What's wrong with you?
It's
Yeah. That's me. Do I seem like a happy person? Do I seem comfortable in myself?
Let's see. I'm not sure. Let's see.
Does that even sound like me? I monetize the video. It's not playing right. That doesn't even sound like me. That does not even sound like me. Where I wouldn't go live if I didn't have like my eyes done, my eyebrows done, my hair at least somewhat decent. I mean, my hair's not even fixed in that video, but I just woke up. I woke up, I went downstairs. I said I was going to make myself some tea. No, first I told Friday, let's go somewhere for breakfast. And he said, no, are you crazy? And I was like, fine, I'm making some tea and I'm going live and talking shit. That's what happened this morning. I didn't wash my face. No, still smells good. But yeah, no, that's not me. That's what people want. That's not you guys. But some people get very upset because I don't play by the rules. Fuck the rules. I didn't sound like I was joking when I said fuck the rules. um there was someone in the corner pointing a gun, making me do it. His name is Michael. Notice how I keep like I won't look at the camera straight on. Like, I fucking hate you. I don't want to go live. That was a lot of conversations that I had. Yeah. And then I'll show you guys another one. Hold on. So that was, when was this? I don't know when this was posted. Long time ago. That's when my hair started growing out after I tried to shave it. And then here's this one. This one. I had been going live for a little bit longer. Okay, and I felt like I needed to put on a whole, like, we got to do some amazing stuff.
Right, so today,
Notice
I
how
wanted
my
to
voice.
share some information on some very touching, controversial things, primarily
That's a video
parasite.
on parasites. And even then, I was still very much like, oh my God, people are going to think I'm crazy talking about this, calling things parasites, because I really am the one that started that. And people are going to think I'm crazy, but I'm being told I'm supposed to talk about this. I don't want to talk about this because, first of all, they don't know what the hell I'm talking about when I'm saying parasites. And then, secondly, if I call it what people know it is, people will think I'm crazier than crazy. Because what I mean by parasites is demonic. So you have to go through this process of unlearning and undoing all of this bullshit that you have really been raised to believe you need to partake in. I mean, would you guys prefer seeing me the way I was in those videos or the way I am now? which one which one um which one do you guys prefer? Because I mean, I go fix my hair. I go wash my face. I go ahead and put on some makeup, and which would you guys rather see? Scared little me? I gotta clean my face for real though. Oh, I love you, Miss Meliz. Which one? The unfiltered one. No to what, Teresa? I gotta clean my face for real. Because it drives me nuts when I see mascara smeared at the bottom. Yeah, I can't go back to that. I just can't. I just can't. That was a time when I was just breaking away from what I was uh, taught to believe about myself and my behavior. Because my family knows me as like this, as the way you guys see me now. But before maybe a year ago, oh, actually, I don't know. I was still kind of, even though I was already live streaming on Facebook for a while, I was still kind of feeling like I had to be that way. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you. It's awesome to witness a growth or evolution or unmasking or whatever you want to call it. It is. It's a shedding process where you shed all of these different false aspects of yourself. Yeah, once you step out of the box, you never want to get back in it. Well, I'm kind of a cat in so many ways because um, I never fit in the box. You know how cats go in boxes that are far too small? And I tuck them away. That's kind of what I was doing. And yeah, it was weird because I fought most of my life to be in a box, to be able to sit in a box most of my life. We like PJs. I mean, hey, this is my finest. This is, what do you mean? These are not PJs. These are going out clothes. These are going out clothes. Please. They're fabulous. No. Yeah, I wear PJs or gym clothes all the time. Probably because I don't want to go through the laundry and look for actual clothes. So whatever's on top, that's what I get. So it's the same stuff that I wear over and over. But it's comfortable stuff. And I think the thing is this, having worked in the fashion and cosmetic industry for so many years, I know what I can do if I really want to doll myself up. I know how I can look. I know how my figure is. But when I used to do that, I have never had a more insecure period of my life than when I was working in those industries. Let me tell you, I was much cuter when I was younger, but I didn't feel that. I really didn't feel that. I don't have pictures of when I was younger because that's obnoxious. I've moved so many times, I don't have any of those pictures. Maybe I do. I don't know. Let's see. Feels like enlightenment has no element of no F's given. Well, see, the thing is, it's not that I don't give an F. It's that I'm selective what I give an F about. That period of my life where I really was like, I don't give a fuck. Um, I had to convince myself that I don't give a fuck because giving a fuck was too painful. It really was. Conforming to a box is like buying a shoe too small, blisters suck. It's true. It's true. It's empowering to just be you, to walk into a room and not give an S what others think or feel about you when you finally get to that level of confidence with yourself. Um, so I'm going to analyze that. Do I not care? I'd say I'm a kind of person who cares a little too much. But when it comes to opinions about me, the way I see it, like what does it really matter? You know? It's not necessarily that I don't care. I just have a hierarchy of thoughts. I have priorities. And I know I'm here for something that's going to take a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of. And do I really have the luxury of fixating on that? I mean, I am human. And sometimes when I see things, um, nastiness directed at me, and it's not even really what they say, it's more of the energy. One of the other videos that I did recently, um, I swear, if I didn't feel energy, I would have thought nothing of the comment. But it was something like, my husband just left me. You need to pull me a card or something. You need to help me. The words that were written, it was a comment, and I just was like, "Fuck you." I couldn't help myself. I was just like, "No, I'm not pulling shit." I don't know if you guys saw that, but I mean, looking back at it, it's kind of like, whoa, what was so serious about that one little comment that I needed to react like that? It was the energy. It was the energy of it. That's what I was reactive to. And I mean, am I sorry for the way I reacted? Not really. Not really. Um, do I realize there were more mature ways to react that maybe I should have just not commented on it at all? Yes, I'm aware of that. I hold myself accountable. That was childish behavior. It was rude as fuck. It wasn't a very good public image. But no, I'm a regular person. I am a regular person. Just like I wouldn't put up with that shit. You guys, I'm not a keyboard warrior. I'm not. Whatever I say online, I can say to your face. And if I can't say it to your face, I will not say it online. Whatever I say behind your back, if you ask me, I will say it to your face. I will admit it. Hey, Emmy, did you call me a bitch? I sure did, because I believe you're acting like one. I never, I never deny what I say, what I do. If I'm going to deny it, I'm not going to do it. I'm just not, because that's the kind of person I am. But to me, I don't feel sorry because the way I see it, um, the process that I'm going through of learning to just really publicly own myself, publicly own my life, just be who I am, not have to put on a show, not have to wear a mask, not talking shit about women who wear makeup. I mean, I love makeup. I was a makeup artist for so many years. I love makeup. Am I going to put it on myself? No, I don't like it on my skin, but I love the way it looks. And so this is really about just me on my personal journey. And why would I try and teach you guys, encourage you guys to empower yourselves and speak up when you feel the need to speak up, but because of viewership, to help increase viewership, I'm going to censor myself. What kind of hypocritical bullshit is that? No. Whatever I encourage you to do is what I'm encouraging myself to do as well. If I'm not comfortable doing myself, I'm not going to encourage you to do it. Oh my God. So I was watching Money Heist. I, I'm so fixated on that damn series. I finished it. Now I don't know what to do with my life. All 4 seasons. God. So I finished all 4 seasons. But going back to what I was talking about, there is this character in that series who I just want to sock him in the face. I'm trying to wrap my mind around that's just a character. That's not a real person. But I hope I never see that actor in real life because of the fact that in that show, he talks all this shit. He talks so damn much. He's like, I don't want to make that analogy. I was going to say he's like a used car salesman, but I mean, I don't know. I'm sure there's really amazing used car salesmen, so I don't want to degrade them in that way. But this guy is a total asshole. Okay, he goes around to all the other hostages and tries to tell them that they need to do this and that because he's too fucking cowardly to do it himself. Arturito, I fucking hate. I hate Arturito. He's disgusting. I swear to God. He must be a really good actor or or that's part of his character because he was a little too good with that. He was a little too good with that. I that like just it ruined the whole show for me, but I loved it. It was a good storyline. I just can't stand when people don't have the courage to live the life they're telling other people to live. Like I know someone who they talk so much and how they're so spiritually advanced and this and that and oh they're doing this fast and blah blah blah. I'm like, bitch, you ain't doing none of that shit. It's just all for show. It's just all for show. Like if I'm telling you I'm gonna fast, I'm really gonna fast. If you want to join me on it, join me on it. Oh, you guys. So I'm doing a detox. I believe I have like candida overgrowth. I'm not talking about yeast infection. I'm talking about my intestines. Okay. I have an intestinal issue. Um, I think because I was eating corn, my intestines were fine. Like, fuck you, bitch. We already told you we can't have that shit. You're killing us. And so they're like, we're not doing this work. They went on strike. My intestines went on a strike. And so I've been taking my thyroid medication, but I feel like it hasn't been working. I don't want to increase the dose because then that's going to put me into hyperthyroidism. I don't want that either. So I was like, what am I going to do? And so I started this detox protocol. And y'all, I'm usually super addicted to sugar. I just don't really want sugar much. Like I totally was like, oh, only 3 cookies. That's good. I can't even like no, I can't. I stopped with coffee. I'm now on tea, caffeine-free tea. I make chai tea. And then I have all this other stuff that I just can't, I don't want it anymore. And I'm pretty sure I did have some sort of candida overgrowth. I don't know. My health sucks right now because the gym's not open. And I find that's such a fucking excuse, girl. That's such an excuse. I'm so full of shit right now. Before I joined the gym, I was working out in the RV at the RV park. All I did was have a ruck pack and put like 70 pounds in it. There's no reason why I'm not able to work out at home, except for the fact that I don't want to. Yeah, but now it's to a point where all of my old issues are coming back. Like I felt my sacrum and the way my hip bridge, the iliac, the way it connects, because your hips are not solid. There's a triangle shaped bone in your low back by above your butt crack, and then the hip bones go attach to it and go around. I felt that shit dislocate in the middle of the store, not moving. Fuck today. So now I'm back to flapjack booty. Back feels fucked up. I know my knees are done again. I have to find my serious knee braces again if I want to work out. This sucks. Um, Slippery Element comforts the GI to help aid recovery. Sounds like you're doing well. Check out rowers. Oh man, I can't do rowers. Even when I was doing really well with my workout, I just can't do rowers. It puts too much it irritates my low back. I and then my I have all these problems. I have very loose joints. See that? I have very loose joints. Very stretchy and loose, and so I won't feel pain until it's actually popped out. Um, I won't feel pain. It has to have popped out or torn the ligament, micro tear, in order for me to feel the pain. So I can't do rowers. That one, I felt the pain. I was like, "Oh shit!" I felt my disc in and out, and I was like, "Oh shit! I won't be able to get home." Yeah, no, I can't do rowers. But yeah, what do you guys want to talk about? I don't want to just talk about me. Jeez, I'm talking about me for 30 minutes. Um, wait, what happened? I used to never walk out of my house without makeup on and without my hair being done. Now I only do it if I want to. Yes, yes, Pisces fairy dust. You guys might not believe this, but for a good portion of my adult life, I would, well, no, no, no. It was my early adulthood. Early adulthood. I would take about 2.5, 3 hours to get ready. 2.5, 3 hours to get ready. Every hair had to be in place. Makeup had to be absolutely flawless to go grocery shopping. Whoo, that was some bullshit. But I will say my hair, like the hair that I have now, I want to say that would be about this much hair. My hair used to be super thick, super, 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 super thick, and coarse, and so that would take up most of the time. Um, Weighted vests. I can't do anything with my knees right now. I did consider a weighted vest and just walking around the house with that on. Um, yep. I used to be me, taking forever. And then what's the craziest thing looking back, even after having spent hours just to get ready, what I would see in the mirror when I was finished, I was not satisfied. I wasn't satisfied. I and I think that's one of I want to say that's one of the best things that I've learned for myself. Um, I'm not interested in being pretty. I'm just not. I'm not. It doesn't matter to me if people think I'm pretty, if people think I'm ugly, people find me attractive, if people are repulsed by me, like I don't really care. I just for that I don't care. Because I never had to because I never got the kind of I guess I don't know, compliments from my mama because my mom is not into the complimenting. She's not a bad mom, but that's not, I think with her, um, if you looked good that day, it was kind of just like, well, you should know you look good. I don't have to like tell you and remind you. That's obnoxious. So I never really felt the need to have that. I never felt the need to get that from people where it's like, oh my God, you're so pretty. When like, people tell me that kind of thing, I'm like, that's fucking weird. So you sit there analyzing my face. That's fucking weird. I don't know. That's just me though. That's just me. So now I'm kind of just like, I'm at a certain age. I just don't need none of that shit. Sometimes I want to play pretty. For me, sometimes, which is most of the time, I don't give a shit. I don't want to put on makeup. I haven't been doing very good at taking care of my skin. I'm seeing the aging occurring. It's okay. It's okay. We can't look 18 forever. Oh, that's nice, Brianna. Took me a long time to love myself. Now I'm like, girl, you pretty. I love that. You are though. You're pretty. Um, yes, right, smarty girl. I noticed that it was never enough. The more I spent, the more I wanted. hmm The more time I spend, the more money I spend on makeup, the more I want. Very true. Um, oh, I still have tons of makeup. I still have tons. I don't most of it. And for some reason, I don't know if I actually did it. I've been saying I'm gonna do it. I've had my makeup train case because I had a train. It was full of so much makeup, and I don't think I ever threw away that makeup, and that's from, like, early 2000s. I still have it's in storage, though. I would not put that shit on my face. Oh, I have this thing, though, like, if I am on location, um, sometimes the models or the actors, actresses, whatever, they like to go through the makeup case. And I'm like, "Don't touch my shit." I'm usually very, very nice until you start, "Don't touch my shit, dude. Like, you have germs on your hands, you filthy ass human being." And after every person, I'm such a germaphobe. I would disinfect the brush. I would use 90% isopropyl alcohol, spray down all of the powders. Yeah, and I don't even double dip. But no, are you kidding me? I don't know what kind of shit you got on your skin. I don't think so. Yeah, but you still will have bacterial growth, but I'm gonna minimize that shit as much as possible. No way. um, let's see. You are your own critic as long as you believe it. You don't need anyone to tell you anything. Very true. People notice my prettiness, but I want them to see my wisdom. No more makeup for me. Well, I mean, that's beautiful for you. I don't think makeup has anything to do with prettiness for me. Like, to my mind, to my eyes, in my mind, makeup doesn't have anything to do with prettiness. Is that weird? I think that I don't know. I just see it as like an art form. I don't see it as pretty. In order for me to find someone attractive, it has to do with their integrity, their character, their level of intelligence, their heart. That's what I find attractive, not the face. Yeah, that's weird, right? um, wait, what attitude? It was never about how I looked for me. I was doing makeup, and for that job you have. Yeah, you have to look that way for that job. And that industry is so fucking catty. 99% at 11:44. That industry is so catty, it's ridiculous. I couldn't. I couldn't. I couldn't. I just couldn't. I can't do that shit. The fakeness. Hmm. Those lipstick. Oh, no, no, no. I see people using the lipstick testers. You guys, they've done tests. Many of those testers have E. coli. No, you can put it on your hand if you want to see how the color looks. Do not put anything on your face. Some of them have E. coli, all kinds of molds, fungus, all kind of nasty shit. Nasty shit. Don't touch that stuff. Um, yeah, I don't. I can wear eye stuff, eyebrow stuff. I could do some like cheek, some cheek stuff, but I can't do the whole face. That feels disgusting to me personally. I mean, I don't think it looks disgusting on other people. It feels disgusting on my skin. It gets itchy and just nasty. Is wisdom something you can see at first glance? Is intelligence and wisdom the same thing? Because wisdom, I think that takes time to observe someone utilizing wisdom. Intelligence, that would still take some observation, but I mean, for me personally, um, the way I interact with people, I'll just interact with you. I'm not looking for intelligence or any of that. I'm just interacting with you as a person. But as we interact, I do begin to notice these types of things. Whether, and it's not that I'm not going to talk to you if you're not intelligent. It's just that I notice when someone is. Um, let's uh, I don't have a type. I just don't have a type, except for my husband. um, and again, he is very attractive. Um, but the thing that I love the most about him is who he is, not how he looks. Um, oh wow. Wow. I was raised by a vain woman, and once I started, it was like a cancer in my life. The look of everything suddenly mattered in a judgmental way. I can relate. I can't necessarily say my mom was a vain woman, but I just remember certain things, certain types of comments that made me. I don't think the intention was to be abusive in any way, but it created a circumstance within me that made me very hypercritical of myself. Very, very hypercritical. Till now, if I know someone's coming, I don't care if you're coming in the house or not, everybody better clean. I don't give a shit. Everybody better clean. Everything, everything, everything has to be sanitized and clean. Um, and I think that just has to do with my culture, though. I think it might have more to do with my culture. Um, you can know plenty, but how to use that is different, and wisdom is both, I think. I think wisdom is both too. Um, don't you find though that if you love someone's personality, they also become more physically attractive to you as well? Yeah, yeah. Um, I've never been the kind of person that pursues anyone. I've never pursued anyone. Um, I'm too introverted for that. You're either gonna pursue me or there's nothing that's gonna happen. There's nothing that's gonna happen. I mean, when I was single. So it's one of those things where I will allow you to remain in my that sounds so fucking like I'm a princess. Hello, I'm the empress. You fucking peasant. No, that's what it sounds like, but that's not what I mean. I will allow someone to continue to interact with me until I get a good feel for the kind of person that they are. And if I don't get a good feel, it doesn't necessarily mean I think you're a bad person. It just means that I've seen enough. I don't want to know more. And I'm just going to continue with my life without you. You just go that way. I'll go this way. It's all good. But it's just one of those things where um, if you have the qualities, the character, the integrity, the heart, the intelligence, all of that, um, that adds to the attraction. Uh, oh yeah, no, there's a lot of like viral shit on not just the lipstick, not just the lipstick. All of the products that are out, the testers, all of them have that. All of them. Some products have more, but others also have it, just not as much. All of them have it. Powders, it doesn't matter. Those aren't out there for you to use. Mm-mm. Yeah. Let me see. Um, yeah, I'm very introverted. My husband's very extroverted. Well, he was. No, He's very extroverted. Very. He's a Gemini. He's a Gemini. He makes friends anywhere. I'm like, who the fuck is that? Stop talking to people. He doesn't care. He still keeps talking to people. He doesn't care. He just everybody needs to know shit. He needs to tell people shit. It doesn't matter what it is. It's not always like personal stuff. He just like tells people stuff. I'm like, who the fuck is that? Why are you telling them that I have a channel? Yeah, because like I said, we used to live in a motorhome for years, like 3.5 years. And we would travel nonstop, go to a gas station. Next thing you know, oh, bye. We'll make sure to check out your channel. Don't tell people that shit. It's one thing for you guys to see me online, and you're probably never gonna see me in person. I'm introverted. You can't tell people shit when they have access to me. And he's just like, what? Bro, now we have to leave this RV park. I don't feel safe. Oh my God. But I'm weird like that. I'm seriously weird like that. It's not that I'm secretive. I just don't like people knowing where I am, what I'm doing, my thoughts, my work. I don't know. I've just always been like that. Always. But Mr. Frey over here, he doesn't give a shit. Oh yeah, my wife, she's in the RV. And then I come down and he's like, oh, your husband told us all about you. What did I tell you? What did I tell you? Don't tell people that. He doesn't care. Is that a Gemini thing or is that a you thing? And then my husband has started this new thing, okay? It's kind of impressive, but at the same time, who the fuck do you think he is? So he's not into spiritual stuff. That's not his thing. That's fine. He doesn't have to be into the same things as I am. He's not into spiritual things. He's not into astrology. I got really mad at someone, I don't know, like last year or something. I'm really mad at someone. And he goes, it's a Gemini thing. What the fuck? He's like, yeah, it's a Gemini thing. I can talk to them. Who the hell are you? Yeah. So, and then there's other things he said. And I'm like, oh my God. He's getting into this subject matter. He does balance me out. He does. He totally balances me out. He I can get so hyper fixated on something and really work myself up. And he's like, what's wrong with you? What do you mean? What's wrong with me? I'm pissed off. You're always pissed off. Yeah, people ask me, how do you make it work with a Gemini? I don't know. He makes me laugh though. Well, yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Smarty Girl. If it's a safety thing, stalkers are real and scary. I have an ex-boyfriend from when I was like 16, and we weren't even in a relationship for a year. This fool is still stalking me. Daddy, you need to go back to California and just tell him to stop. Yeah, no, I tell my husband, I'm like, look at this fucker. Look at this shit. He's like, who the fuck is that? That's just weird. Right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Talkative. He says he says I don't listen to him and that I ignore him because he's been talking for like 4 hours and I've stopped responding and I'm just staring at the road. And I'm just like, and then he gets upset. He gets butthurt. I'm like, bro, I can't talk as long as you. I just can't. Well, I can understand why he gets butthurt because then I'm on live streams talking for hours. And then he's like, you can't listen to me for hours. Oh, so we're opposites. Frey and I are opposites for everything. When I'm hot, he's cold. When I'm cold, he's hot. Like literally. We're always arguing about the AC, about the windows, about the heater, about blankets, everything. Everything. I don't know if we agree on anything. Do we agree on anything? The Gemini makes it work. How so? How does the Gemini make it work? Geminis are fun though. They are. I know quite a few Geminis. Oh my gosh, you guys, I think I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go poke him downstairs. So I think the main thing here is just be who you are. Okay. People are always going to criticize you. People are always going to have their opinions of you. And you can choose to be who you are. Or, like you saw in the video, let me show you guys again one more time. Do I look like a happy person? I think I'm happier here. Let's see. Hold on. I can't believe he monetized everything. That's hilarious. What is this? This is when I was pissed.
Hi. So this is my first run at doing a video to put onto YouTube. So I'm not sure how that's gonna work out.
And you guys,
We'll see though. We'll see. So today,
what's crazy is I had a notebook. I had a notebook. I don't know. Hold on. See, look, okay. You're so fucking crazy, girl. I had a notebook like I was teaching class.
We'll see though. We'll see. So today's talk, we're going to talk about cord cutting today.
So I was. Oh my god. I remember, like, because I've homeschooled my children their whole lives. Michael goes, you just have to go live. He's getting irritated at me at that point. He's like getting irritated, just go live. And I was like, but what will I teach? He's like, just go live. So I had this notebook and I had written down all the topics. I put bullet points, different things that I. No, that was at the apartment in the Woodlands. Yeah. And then I was like, okay, so today's talk. And in my head, I was like, it's just like homeschooling. It's just like homeschooling. Oh my God, crack me up. Yeah. I looked like I wanted to take a dump out of fear. I used to live stream at the library. I live streamed at Starbucks, Target. Yeah, I got kicked out of Target. But I don't blame them. I don't blame them. Part of me was trying to reason. It was like, oh, it's because I look homeless. It's because of that. But no, I took it a little over the edge because I brought in my big ass printer and I turned Target into my office. Wait, I bought a drink. Yeah. Ooh, as soon as my drink was done, those bitches. They're like, ma'am, this is for customers. But fuck, I knew I should have refilled my shit. I brought the whole printer. I brought all kind of documents. I was just on business right then. They kicked me out. They told me that I had to leave. And I totally felt like, it's because I look homeless. No, girl, you brought a printer in. So, yeah, I've done some weird shit. So I used to write notes and, yeah, but I bought our oldest a drink. I bought our oldest a drink. They tried to say that they needed us to leave because of profanity. And I was like, are you saying my son was using profanity? Like my oldest. They couldn't say anything. And I looked at my son. I was like, "Were you using profanity on the phone while I was gone?" Because I went into Target. He goes, "No." Are you sure? Nah, they were just looking for a reason to have me leave because I was a crazy ass lady, turned their freaking Starbucks into my office. That's what I mean. um, oh my gosh, Deb, you remember that? Man, you've been there since forever. Yeah, I actually was homeless. So, yeah, no, I figured out because we were boondocked, I figured out public parts, they have, electricity. So we would go and, we would charge all our electronics while the kids play. Girl, I be knowing how to survive. I'm telling you, if apocalypse happens now, I'm not worried. I realized though that I had to go through the things that I went through in order for me to know without a shadow of a doubt that no matter what happens in this world, my family is fine. We're perfectly fine. We know how to boondock. We know how to dry camp. We know how to, on a very, very meager budget, have equipment to just, do our thing and not be worried. It was like one long camping trip. It really was. It was like one long camp. I didn't see anything wrong with it. I didn't. Everyone's like, "Oh my god, are you okay? I'm so sorry." I'm like, "For what?" It's like one big camping trip. We were in an RV. So we would travel once we got the Deb, were you there when my RV brakes broke? Oh no, when it got fixed. You were already there when it broke because the longest camping trip ever. Because so I was living in the woodlands. I was in Texas for some time. And then Michael woke me up with sirens blaring and told me we needed to evac Texas. I'm like, for what? Why? I don't want to leave Texas. It was a nice little spot we were at. And since he said that, we went on a freaking hunt to find our RV. The RV went missing. Do you remember that, Frey? We went back, we left the RV. My life is crazy. We left the RV in a national park, a national forest, and we were like, we'll be back next week. We'll come back every week and we'll just move it because we had a 6-month lease at an apartment in the woodlands. After we left it there, a couple days after that, um, we lost our vehicle. And see, this is the crazy thing. That national forest was like hour or two away from us. And for months we couldn't go there. We couldn't go check on the RV and it was like, oh, it's fine because there was people across the roadway who were camping and looked like they were boondock there for a long time. Finally, months later, Michael tells us we have to evac, and I'm like, let's go rent a car today and we'll go get the RV and we'll leave. And we rented a car and we went back and there was no RV there. 39-foot RV missing. We went to the ranger's office. They didn't know where it was. We were calling all kind of places. And I was like on the verge of crying because that was the last thing my mom gave me before I left California and disappeared. And I was like, you have to find my RV. I was so mad. And then finally we tracked it down. Remember, this national forest is like hour and a half, 2 hours away from the apartment. For whatever reason, this entire time that it was impounded, because they towed that shit out of the forest. They towed a 39-foot RV out of the forest. It had been 15 minutes away from the apartment. That was the tow company that got it. So that whole time it was 15 minutes away from us. We didn't know. So luckily we were still changing the title over. We hadn't finished, so they didn't have anyone to contact. They couldn't auction it off. But we did have to pay a shit ton of money to get her out of jail. So we got our RV, and as soon as we got back to Colorado because Michael said I had to go back to Colorado. Fucking asshole broke my brakes. Those were newly worked on brakes. Newly worked on brakes. Brand new brakes. And he broke it. As soon as we got into Colorado, you can't leave Colorado with broken brakes in an RV. You can't. So we were stuck for honestly like 4 or 5 months. 4 or 5 months. That's how he got me to go live stream. Because before that, I said, fuck that shit. I'm not live streaming. Fuck that shit. Offering services public. Fuck that shit. Make me. That was a major mistake. That was a fatal flaw. I learned real good. I will never tell Michael that again. Because I was like, make me. You can't make me do shit. Oh, he sure did. He sure did make me. Our ass was stuck in a parking lot for 4 months, 4 or 5 months. And as soon as I started live streaming, basically all of that switched. Yeah, I'm going to continue ignoring you, Jason. Thank you. Thank you, Daddy. Yeah, so it's just one of those things. I know you cannot ignore your soul purpose. You just can't. You think you can, but you can't. When your soul gets tired of waiting for you to agree, it will force you. I had no choice. I had to live stream. I had to do auctions. And it was just my fear. I was really, really afraid of like what, because I had a self worth issue. It's not that I felt like I had no worth, but I felt like people wouldn't agree with my worth. Does that make sense? Like, I felt like there was no value aside from value to me in my personal life, but there's no value for other people. The thoughts that I have, the things that I say, that there's no value to it. And so I didn't want to be one of those people who just seemed like desperate for attention. It's crazy, right? So that's what really stopped me. It's like, what if people think I'm stupid? What if people think I'm just crazy? What if people this? What if people that? And that's what really crippled me. And then, I had someone who I don't I was already thinking about going and doing an auction, and I just kept talking myself out of it. And finally I had told Michael, well, if you really, really want me to do this stupid, because I'm out of breath, this stupid auction, then send me a sign that I can't ignore. Next thing you know, someone that I knew and I was kind of close with at the time, he had somewhat of a presence on Facebook. He just randomly messaged me, and we're friends, so we're kind of just chatting back and forth on Messenger. And then he asked if he could video call, and I was like, I don't think so. And then I was like, well, you know who he is, and he's not weird like that. So I agreed, and we talked for like an hour or so. And he was like, you have to go live. And I was like, who told you this? And it was actually him that convinced me to go ahead and do it. And he even agreed to be on the live stream with me, to go live together, so that if I got nervous and froze up, he would start talking. Because I was like, what if I freeze up and I'm gonna look stupid? I can't just sit there mute. And because he supported me in that way, like being on the live stream with me, I didn't go mute at all. And we ended up having a really successful live stream. Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. So I go through these I go through these phases where I'll make tremendous progress and then I'll backslide a lot. If you guys think that your spiritual journey is supposed to just be like a forward trajectory the whole time, um, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. The reason I'm like, people have said to me that, this YouTube channel is a big deal. And to me, it's like, it's whatever. It's not really a huge thing. And they think that the amount of views that the videos get is a huge deal. And to me, it's not, because when I first started on Facebook, within an hour of the video finishing, I had like 20,000 views. I had upwards of 100, 200 people on the live with me at one time. And so it was like They threw me into the deep end. Turns out I'm a Pisces and I can swim. And I swam my ass back to shore. I was like, fuck that shit. I'm a suntan on the shore. So it's a whole bunch of like back and forth, back and forth. Well, I'll make tremendous progress and then I'll go ahead and backslide. And that's fine. You can't have constant like go, 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 go. Sometimes in that backslide, you learn the nuances of where you're at in your journey. Sometimes in that backslide, you understand what it is you're supposed to be doing versus I just want more numbers, I want more views, I want more active people on the live streams, I want more this, I want more shares. I mean, I'm all about numbers because numbers talk to me. But I realize numbers talk to me, but they don't necessarily apply to the analytics of the things that I do. I don't have to force myself to create content and whatever it is just to get the views up, to get the subscribers up. To me, that doesn't matter anymore. Before it used to. Before it used to be like I would feel like I made progress in my journey if I saw certain types of numbers. I remember one live stream. Um, one of the things that I used to do was on Facebook. I used to fuck with that system real good. Facebook hates my business page because I'm able to expand the reach very, very quickly with no ads. I've never paid for an ad on Facebook. And um, I would do things with sharing. And I remember one live stream, this was such a ridiculous goal. While I was live, the goal was to hit 1,000 shares while we were live. Oh, we surpassed that. It was fucking amazing. But yeah, I don't ever want to do that again. It was crazy. That was crazy. So there's a lot of things that that I learned about how to work social media by me being thrown into the deep end on Facebook. I actually do know how to work social media. I know if I really wanted to, I could really grow this channel very, very quickly, but I don't want to. I don't want to. I want whoever does choose to join me on this journey to be someone who, for whatever reason, they feel like they resonate with me. For whatever reason, they feel empowered. They feel as though there's someone else there that understands them, where they're not feeling like they're crazy. They're not feeling like they're just making things up, imagining things. Like, I want the people who join me on this journey to be people who are empowered, people who understand that, oh, there's a red-tailed hawk just floating right out my window. What's up, Mr. Hawk? He's just like literally right there. Oh, of course. Come on, fly back. I want to. He's flying away. That's why do you do that? Oh, he's coming back. Oh shit, where did he go? Wow, as soon as I start recording, he's gone. That's some bullshit. Anyways, anyways. Yeah, people think, and this is why I have no problem being who I am at this point. I have no problem being who I am. I know how to do the things I need to do in this life. I know that once I'm actually ready, I'll allow the growth to occur in the way that it's supposed to occur. Until then, no, I don't need to put on a show. I don't need to try and validate myself through the number of subscribers and number of views. No, I needed it back then because I really, really had this fixation on numbers to show me my worth, to show me my value. I remember one time I was having a live auction, and I had made this because I make selenite swords. I had made this sword design that was very much connected to one of my most prominent past lives. And gosh, I still remember that. We were parked on the side of the road. I was in my RV live streaming, and because of the location that the RV park was at, the connection, since it rained, the cellular connection was very low. And so we left the park in the RV. parked on the side of the fucking road, and I was live streaming. And that sword, I was like, "Mm-mm, stop, stop," because people were in a bidding war and they had already crossed the $1,000 mark for one sword. And I was like, this is too much. This is too much money for one sword. And Michael had to tell me, let them show you. You're so big on numbers. Let them show you what they value your energy at. And they were going to keep going. I think it was at like, I think they were at 1,300 at that point, 1,200 or 1,300. These two were in a bidding war. And finally, I was like, stop, just stop, stop. This is too much. And I brought it back down. You remember that? Wasn't it nuts? Like, y'all are fucking crazy. You don't pay that much for a selenite. It's a rock. But then, I think I ended up crying after that live stream because Michael he was really pissed off. He's like, why do you do that? Why do you stop people from showing you, confirming for you how much they value your energy? I was like, because it was too much money. And he's like, why do you do that? He was talking to me so stern. I was like, why are you being mean to me? Because you don't listen. You wanted confirmation and you were being given confirmation and you stopped it. And I was like, holy shit. I'm sorry. Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. So you guys, the journey is all about you being able to swing back and forth, you being able to just kind of understand where you are in your process. Um, Allow yourself to see the ways in which your soul is presenting you circumstance to grow you. Um, just a whole bunch of stuff. Whole bunch of stuff. It's not trying to get to the highest level of dimensional consciousness. It's not about um, how much you can activate certain portions of your template. It's about having the experiences that give you the maturity, both mentally and emotionally, that type of maturity to know how to responsibly harness those gifts. It's not about being able to show people what you can do. It's not about showing off. No, it's not about any of that. It's a very personal, very private type of process. And you have to be fully present in it. You can't be so overly concerned by how other people will view your process that you fail to be a part of the process. That was so huge. That was such a huge lesson. I had to really be able to release my need to have the acceptance, because that was a huge thing for me. I've never been accepted my whole life. I've always been um, some sort of outcast for something. And it's not necessarily that people were mean to me or bullying me, but I always just had this very painful knowing that I just don't fit in any group. I don't fit in. Even with the spiritual people, I don't fit in. I really don't. I don't. So it's crazy. It's crazy. Um, yeah, you have to rock to get unstuck. I know, Queen of Hearts, Spirit will have you doing crazy stuff when you just flow. It's amazing when you reflect back. It is. Looking back at the life that I've lived over just the past, um, I want to say 5 years, 6 years. I'll say 6 years. Since I left California 6 years ago, it's been a crazy ass time. One crazy thing after another, after another, after another, after another. It's just, and I think what is the craziest is that I've never had an attachment to fiat. I just never. I actually have somewhat of a disdain for it. And once I finally got pissed enough to allow myself to be me, um, that abundance has really, really come in. And my fear, I don't know, you guys, I don't know if this might sound seriously crazy. My fear was that if I were to allow myself to become any type of wealthy, which I'm not wealthy, if I allow myself to become any type of wealthy, that it would change me and make me a greedy, selfish person. And I'd be horrible and I just become different. And and then I learned, no, That's not true. That's not true. You are who you are. They say that you, by the time you're 5, um, the person you are is already solidified. That's just you. That's you already. And the rest of your life, it's just a matter of um, really experiencing things to mature your understanding of yourself. But you're already you by the time you're 5. And so when I finally did allow myself to receive my financial abundance, um, it didn't change me. All it did was make it easier for me to love on other people, to help other people because y'all, I didn't tell anyone while I was going through this. I didn't tell anyone. It wasn't like, oh my God, you guys, I'm homeless. I need donate. I never took any donations for myself. I was still accepting donations to give to other people because to me, um, yeah, we were living in a parking lot, but we weren't homeless. We had a roof. We had an RV. Granted, it was a very old RV, falling apart RV, but my kids were safe. We had all the food that we needed. My kids never, ever, ever went hungry. We were able to purchase necessities. Um, we always had just enough cash. And so to me, we weren't in any kind of rough way. Like no one knew. People were probably like, why is this girl always at the park? Yeah. Why is this girl always live streaming at the park? Because that's where we live. And at that time, like I would take and solicit donations for other people. And no one knew that. No one knew. And it wasn't that I was hiding it because I was ashamed. Obviously, I'm not ashamed if I'm talking about it right now. I wasn't ashamed. It was more of this feeling like I don't want people to feel bad for me. I don't want people to give to me when we're fine and other people who are not fine are going to do without. It was a very twisted type of mentality. I see that now. I absolutely see that now. This mentality of if I allow myself to receive, then someone else will do without. And I couldn't have that. Like Deb mentioned that she saw me going live in the park. I remember one time, I know exactly where we were. I know which park. And as Michael told me this bald eagle flew over, and it was fucking. I was talking in a live stream, and then he admits to me he broke my brakes intentionally. And this was my first time crying on a live stream. I just started sobbing uncontrollably. I was like, "You're such an asshole. Why would you do that?" And like, no one understood because they'd never seen me cry before. And because I was still talking like the videos that I showed you, where it was like a very soft voice, um, and no one knew what to do. They're like, "What's wrong? How can we help? What's happening? What's happening?" And I finally told them, and they're like, What? How much do you need?" And I was like, "I need $700 because this lady is about to be homeless." They're like, "No, but we want to know what you need." I said, "This is what I need. I want her to not be worried about her rent." And that's just kind of who I am, though. The the birds would always harass me. The birds would always harass me when I'm outside. They would come and start just watching me and chirping. Some of them threw things at me. Squirrels would throw things at me. That's probably when we were by the lake. That's one of the RV parks that we sometimes would go to. Well, actually, all of them had a lake. All the RV parks we go to had lakes. Yep. My perception of where I did or didn't fit was way off. Yep. Same here. Same here. Our perception of who we are and how other people see us is oftentimes way different than how it really is. Way, way different. Like to me, it's I don't know how you guys see me, but to me, it's like I'm just talking to you and you're my neighbor and we happen to be video chatting. Like it's. That's kinda how I see it. I don't know. Is that weird? It's kind of weird, huh? Yeah. Like you're my neighbor, but I don't wanna tell you where I am at. That's just weird. And why did he break your brakes? What was the lesson behind it? Because he had to force me to allow myself to receive abundance. That's why. Because this is how it worked. Since we had our first child, my husband's been the primary breadwinner. I've been a stay-at-home mom this whole time. So he's been working this whole time. I've been just focusing on raising our children. And um, I've always had this fear of if I become too recognized in anything that I'm doing, that it will take me away from my children. And so I've always shrunk myself. And it's very unfair because it's like, um, well, I felt like I was forcing my husband to work. I mean, he's more than willing to work and take care of us. He's always taking care of our family. So I totally saw it as I shouldn't go live because then that threatens my ability to continue to care for our kids. And Michael totally was like, no, you have to go live. We've waited long enough. I was like, no, I don't think so. Maybe I'll do a few videos, but I don't think so. And breaking our brakes forced us into basically homelessness. And what's crazy is we were homeless, technically, but we had money. Just not enough to fix the fucking brakes, is what it was. So, yeah, crazy, right? And what that did was basically forced me into a situation where I need to find a way to supplement the income because my husband was working. Um, I need to find a way to supplement the income in order to get enough to fix the brakes. And so that's all I was going to do. I was going to supplement the income, do one live stream auction, and hopefully get enough funds to fix our brakes. And as soon as I agreed to that and actually did the live stream, the auction, I made like quadruple what we needed for the brakes. And then I made acquaintances with a lady in Texas who was, I felt some sort of connection. Turns out she's just a scam artist. No, it was some sort of connection because I left California on really bad terms with my whole family. And I had very deep, unresolved, I guess you could say, issues connected to my mom. And this lady, it felt like I could reestablish a mother type of connection with her and try and heal that. I was looking for a mother figure, basically. And so we got enough money to fix the brakes. And with the heart that I have, I was like, we have to go to Texas because that was the time they had a flood over by was Port Arthur, deep down Houston area, Texas, and her house flooded. It was like 4 feet of water. Her house flooded, and I told my husband, we have to go help. We have to. We can't just not do anything. There's so many people suffering, and in order for him to do that, in order for him to come, he had to quit his job. He had to. And I didn't want to ask out of him, but he was like, I'll quit. And I was like, holy shit. Okay, let's go. And so that trapped me. I realize now, fucking Michael, well played, well played. Because we were traveling around so much, despite the fact that my husband is very highly educated, has had like freaking phenomenal jobs with Intel, Sony, like all of these amazing tech companies, and he's a tech guy. Because we kept moving and traveling, companies didn't like seeing that. And we don't use our credit card. We only pay cash for everything. And so they're like, what the fuck is this? This looks weird. Because now they do credit reports on all perspective. It's fucking crazy. So yeah, I knew once he quits that job, I'm going to have to keep live streaming. I'm going to have to keep, and that's when I realized, well, this is not just some hobby. This is actually, I have a functional business. And then we went to Texas and that fucking went crazy. And there were some really good things that came out of that, though. My trip to Texas, because the woman was so focused on financial things, financial gain, she convinced me to form an LLC. She wanted to be on the LLC. I was like, I don't know about that. Fucking crazy. So that's when I made it an official company. And I knew once he quits his job, I'm going to have to keep on. And it hasn't been something where it's a pressured thing. I feel obligated. I feel stressed out. Not at all. I see it as just me being me, sharing my time, sharing things that I have no problem sharing in regards to gifts and helping people. And the abundance comes appropriately. If I have things I have to pay for, Suddenly there's funds to pay for that. If someone comes to me and needs help, suddenly there's funds to pay for that. I don't hold on to the money. I have a very deep knowing that, and this is my whole life has been this way, where it's just a knowing that if I have a financial need, the proper amount of finances will be provided to me some way, somehow it will find me. I'll be able to take care of that. That's just how it's always been. I remember when we sold our house, um, we made a very decent profit off of selling our house in California. And we decided to rent an RV for I don't know how many weeks, travel cross country. Excuse me. Travel cross country and just really enjoy time with our kids. And they charge you for every single mile. Imagine going from Vegas to Florida to New York to California back to Vegas. That's a whole lot of fucking miles. We rented the RV for a while, and when we brought it back, we should have just bought a fucking RV. That's how much we spent. My husband told me the amount that they charged for the mileage. I was like, oh my fucking God. I think it was like $1,500 or something like that for the mileage. That's not for the rental, that's for the mileage. I was like, holy fucking shit. And we still had plenty of funds, but that like really, because I'm frugal. They're like, oh my God, just for the miles? Are you fucking kidding me? And as soon as we got home, because we just sold our house, right? We already got the funds. But as soon as we got home, there was a check in the mail. Apparently, there were overages in the escrow account, and so they gave it back to us. $1,500. I was like, all right, I'm not worried about the gas anymore. I'm not the mileage is fine. So anything that I like, I feel any kind of like, oh my God, those same amount of funds that I need come. I'm not worried. That's why I don't hold on to money. I know if I need, it will come. And if I have and someone else needs, I can give it to them if my heart's aligned. Okay. I'm not a fucking bank for people. I'm not an ATM. If my heart is aligned, and oftentimes the people that I help with finances for rent, for utilities, groceries, things their kids need, these are people that I'm drawn to. They don't ask me. I find them and I give to them. I offer. There's a huge difference. But yeah, I just have this knowing like I'll always be okay. I'm not interested in being in, having a fancy car in a mini mansion. And no, I'm not interested in any of that at all, at all. And I think that's why the abundance, it's just circular. It comes in, it goes out. It comes in, it goes out. And I know we're always going to be okay. And I think if you guys, I'm not saying be irresponsible with your funds, okay, because this doesn't work for everyone. It just depends on what your purpose is in life. It depends on what your soul's path is. And I know mine has always been something just that's just crazy to talk about. But I know we're never going to be destitute, because we have very simple wants, we have very simple needs, and anything in excess of that, I have no problem sharing with other people. And I think that's probably why abundance comes to me so easily, because when I have it, I'll give it. So if you are in this mindset of lacking a poverty type of mindset, and it doesn't matter how much money you have, it's a mindset. Okay. If you're always worried about money leaving you and you hold on to it, your hands are closed. That means you can't receive anymore. And I'm over here like, la, 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 la. Miss me with your money. That's how I am. I'm serious. That's just how I am. I'm sure it irritates my husband. No, he's the same way too. He's the same way too. He is. He's definitely the same way. There's been times where I've gotten really pissed off, and it's started this process of hardening my heart. I'm like, I'm not helping anyone anymore. Fuck this shit. People are just fucking rotten. And I distinctly remember one time I was like, fuck that shit. We're not helping no one anymore. I hate that. I'm done with people doing that kind of shit to me. And Next thing you know, someone messages and is like, "Oh, I have an urgent blah blah blah," and I'm like, "Don't." And he answered. He's like, "How much do you need?" I said, "Don't. I told you don't." He goes, "Just this one last time." And so he gave her he gave her what she needed, and I'm glad he insisted because I know for a fact that if we didn't, the next day I'd feel horrible. I'd be like, "That's fucked up. Why didn't I answer her?" So, we're the same. In that respect, we are the same. I still remember this man. We were in, Arizona. We were in Arizona. We decided to go get ice cream, go on a late night run for ice cream. I think it was like 8 or 9 at night. Um, oh, girl, I knew it. I wanted to do that for you, but then I wanted to respect your privacy. I knew it would happen for you. I knew it would. I think maybe that was just a test of your ability to open yourself to receive. And, probably not receive from me, but just to receive from whoever. And this is what soul does. Sometimes soul will crush you down just to give you the opportunity to reach back up, to open your hands and allow yourself to receive. I reckon that's why I'm not pissed off about the events of my life. But I remember we were in Arizona. This was years ago. We were in Arizona and we went for a late night ice cream run. Well, that's what we were supposed to do. And this man comes up to us. He looks super embarrassed and he's like asking for some money to buy diapers for his kids because he lost his job. He had no money and this and that. And he said he had been there in the Arizona heat since I think that morning and no one had helped him. I'm like, that's fucked up. So my husband and I were like, "Okay, wait for us here." And we went full on shopping. We went grocery shopping. We got some goodies for the kids. We got some diapers. We got a whole bunch of stuff. And all we really had was a bag of ice cream. And we gave him the cart, and he was just like crying. And I was like, Don't feel embarrassed." But yeah, I'm very, very lucky to have the kind of husband that I do. We are polar opposites on pretty much everything, but our hearts are mirrors of each other. So we have no problem helping other people. Um, yeah, you have to allow things to just be. You have to trust in your higher self. And trusting in your higher self is not about you not doing anything and just sitting on your ass and waiting for things to arrive. No, in order to flow, there has to be movement. There has to be action. You have to take action in order for that flow to occur. And that's part of the reason why I get so my mom used to always tell me this my whole life. You just have to pray. It's because you didn't pray enough. Is it? Is it? Is because I didn't pray enough? But she used to always tell me that, and that used to drive me nuts, nuts, because the way I saw it, you think you can just pray and hope and not do anything and that you'll be provided for? No, you were gifted hands, feet, legs, arms, a brain, the ability to problem solve, find a solution and implement it. And I don't agree with the whole concept of you just have to pray and then things will be done for you. I don't think so. Don't be a lazy, bratty child. You can pray all you want, nothing wrong with prayer, but that mentality of all you have to do is pray and these things will be done for you. The problems will be solved for you. I don't think so. God would never, ever, ever um, deny you an opportunity to learn. If you truly believe that God is your father as a parent, a loving parent, um, they wouldn't rob you of the opportunity to learn. But sometimes you just give up. Sometimes that giving up is not necessarily giving up. It's a form of surrender. Surrender, letting go of this preconceived notion this expectation of how things are supposed to go. Because oftentimes, the way we believe things are supposed to go is not in alignment with where our soul is trying to take us. And that's why sometimes you do have to give up. Sometimes, in order to flow, you have to give up. Sometimes. Right, Queen of Hearts. It warms my heart to help others and know that giving is wonderful. Learning to receive has been the newest lesson. Absolutely. That's one of the hardest lessons I've had to learn. The hardest lessons I've had to learn. Like so hard for me. Um Oftentimes when people give me things, it's hard for me. I'm like, "No, no, no, that's too much. That's too much." And I have to keep reminding myself like, how would you feel if you were gifting someone something and they told you no? That would hurt you. So don't do that. If someone's gifting you something, just allow yourself to receive, recognize they're helping you to learn the lesson of receiving, and don't feel like it's a selfish thing because you didn't ask for it. It's offered. It's offered. When things are offered, that means it's for you. You don't have to feel like you're taking from someone else. Um Same here. I can give when I don't even have anything. Um, oh, thank you, Emma. I better get going, guys. I was planning to just be on for 30 minutes. It's an hour and 41 minutes later. Um, yes, Deb. She says, I have the same issue with receiving. Just when I think I've learned it, I learned that I have it. Absolutely. 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 Um, yeah, I've always I was raised to be this way. I ain't gonna lie. I was raised to be this way. It's very much ingrained. Um, my mom always got on my ass about because we were comfortable. We were financially comfortable, and so I had to pay for everyone. If I go out with other people, especially like if it's my cousin, I have to pay for everything, get them whatever they want. Um, and it created a very, very distorted perception of how I'm supposed to interact with people. It created um, an amplification of my unbalanced overgiving tendencies. I have a tendency to overgive, and I'm learning to really temper that. That's a part of me. That's a part of who I am. And trying to tell myself that that part of me is wrong and bad and shouldn't exist is not a self-loving type of thing. But recognizing I have to be very selective of who I'm like this with. It has to be something reciprocal. Like my small, very, very small circle of friends, I have no problem overgiving because I know that if it ever got unbalanced, they'd have no problem being like, girl, that's too much. Okay, that's too much. And they also very much give. So it's a very beautiful dynamic between me and my small circle. We're all very caring of each other and no one ever takes advantage of each other. So, in that respect, that small circle of friends really helps me to still honor and love on that aspect of me that with other people can very much taken advantage of, becomes very toxic, very draining and detrimental to me. So it's not necessarily that you have to take all of these aspects of yourself that you've deemed toxic and bad and get rid of them because you are who you are already. You are who you are. It's about learning how to temper those characteristics and make them not toxic, make them some form of tool for your soul to teach you lessons. It's such a huge, huge concept that people oftentimes it's like one or the other. You're either that or you're not. I am that and I'm not. I'm both because I'm living in a totality at this point. You have to choose, consciously choose to exit that duality. If not, then you're going to struggle. You're going to struggle. You are who you are. You're not going to just decide to change yourself. Not unless it's part of your path of rebalancing, but you're not going to suddenly become a different person. That's going to take a lot of effort and a lot of fakery. That's bottom line. You know, people who play roles, that they have a tendency to be that way. I know quite a few people who, um, I'll just say that they don't really know who they are yet. They don't really know their purpose yet, but they see certain things that other people experience, and they want to be a part of that. And so they play the role, especially with spirituality. I know quite a few people that do that. They play the role for spirituality. But the bottom line is that they want recognition for anything, whatever they can think of, whatever can get them the recognition, they want it. And if spirituality can get them that recognition, that's what they'll do. And these are the people who change their entire belief systems to go with whatever is cool at the time, whatever will sell the sessions. My belief system hasn't changed. I believe what I believe. I don't care if you agree. I don't care if you're going to provide me. Like I had, y'all, this was fairly recent. I had someone try to befriend me, added me to all these groups because they heard me talking about Kathara, which I do kind of enjoy Kathara. You know, I've read a few of the things, not all of it. I have tons of their books, their ebooks, tons. But I've read just a couple. Kathara helps to explain my Kokoro system, but it's not Kathara. My system's not Kathara. So this guy, he adds me to all these groups, and I was curious what kind of manuals they have. Maybe it's stuff that I haven't seen before. So I joined and I was scrolling through and I see he made a post. He shared one of my live streams. And then I look at the comment. I'm like, this motherfucker. You added me to a group of people who are wanting to lynch me because I work with Michael, because Michael talks to me. And they spent quite a bit of their time and energy bringing up how Michael is an archon, Michael is this, Michael is that, he is evil, he is part of the reason that the world is suffering. Do you think I would agree to that? Do you think I was like, because there's a lot of people, oh, I speak to Michael, I talk to Michael, Michael works with me, Michael cuts the cords for me, Michael this, Michael that, and this is what they build their brand on. No, most of the time you guys hear me, shut up, Michael. I don't want to hear it. Don't talk to me right now. I don't want to see you most of the time. So I told him, I'm very aware. I'm very aware of those teachings. I'm very aware. That's not the Michael that I work with. Michael doesn't give me my abilities. I don't borrow energy or anything from Michael. His only job is to make sure I don't get my ass kicked if there's some sort of attack. That's his only job. That and telling me what my soul is trying to tell me and I keep ignoring. Those are his only two jobs. He does not do anything else. And it was crazy. It was crazy because they're like, so then where do you get your powers? From fucking me. Where do you think? Where do you think? You think I begged some stupid fucking angel to give me powers? You think I sold my soul? It's the same fucking narrative that I've heard for so long. And finally, he came to the conclusion, and quite a few of his group members came to the conclusion of, oh, okay, so she doesn't work with an archon. Most of my life, I've had Michael with me my whole life. Most of my life, I've asked him if he was a demon. I'm not just going to trust you. You better prove your shit to me. I'm not just going to trust you. I'm not. And that's one of the things people just blindly trust. You can't do that. You have to question. Even me, even if you so resonate, you have to question me. I mean, you don't have to be in the comments like, well, prove it. But you have to, in your mind, question and be like, okay, well, let me look at this stuff. What words to choose? Let me go ahead and do a search on that myself and see what I come up with and see how that resonates. You shouldn't just blindly take anything anyone says. No. You have to understand it. You have to. But going back to the whole Michael thing, like, y'all don't know my history. I've dealt with demonic things my whole life. I've been attacked by demonic things my whole life. Michael is not demonic, not the one I work with. I'm very well versed in demonic behavior. parasitic behaviors, their modus operandi, all of that. And I know how mimics work. And this Michael that everyone keeps talking to, that's giving them instruction, that's channeling messages as though he is some elevated thing, that's a fucking mimic. Sorry to tell you, that's a mimic. That is Azazel. And one of Azazel's ancient names is Shaitan. Shaitan is the archaic form of Satan. That's who they're talking to. The Michael that I know, the genuine one, the non-melty face, he never tells anyone what to do. He doesn't cut cords. He doesn't do with any of that bullshit. I promise you, I have a video on cord cutting on my YouTube channel. At no point do I talk about cutting the cord. He taught me that. He taught me how to remove demonic things from me. He taught me that. Because finally, I got so pissed off. He's like, what are you going to do about it? You're just going to let them do that? You're just going to let them keep doing it? And he egged me on. I was like, oh, fuck shit up. I was so mad. And then he helped me to remember how I remove it. So he doesn't cut cords, just so you know. When people tell you, I'll have Archangel Michael cut the cord, this is the fee. Fucking liars. He does not cut cords. He uses that sword not to cut cords. He sets that shit on fire and he runs it through the being. He doesn't cut cords. He's not fucking around. Michael is not a grunt. If he needs to protect me, it's not just to cut a cord. It's not just to block a harpoon or no, he's gonna fuck shit up. Michael is very dark. He's very dark. He is not. That's why I keep making fun of him. I'm like, what's up with that skirt? Why do they keep showing you in a skirt with fucking ruffle sleeves? 3/4 ruffle sleeves. He don't dress like that. He doesn't dress like that. Yep, no cutting. Pull that shit out by the root ball. If creation is a stair-step creation and it's from one scale to a smaller scale to a smaller scale to a smaller scale, if you cut a tree by the trunk, that shit grows back. Give it enough time, it grows back. But when you cut it out by the roots, leaving none of the roots behind, shit doesn't grow back. So yeah, no, it's a lot of bullshit that's being spread around. And people don't like to hear this. This is why I'm fucking black sheep. I'm public enemy number 1 for the spiritual community. I just fucked up everyone's business. Well, shit. If you have the ability, be honest with that shit. You know you ain't talking to Michael. Because a lot of people lie about that shit. If you can't do the work yourself and you need to call something else in, I'd question that shit. I would question that shit. If they can't address it on their own, they have to call in all kind of other stuff. I'm going to invoke this and invoke that and bring in this and bring in that. I'm calling in the Pleiadians. I'm calling in the lyric. No, if you can't handle the shit yourself, you're not doing the work. Why are you getting paid? That's my logic. That's my logic. So if you're going to work with me, I'm not calling in other things. I'm not calling in other things. The time you will hear me speaking to Michael during a private session is if a message is something that's very difficult for me to give and I feel like it's going to be too much. And he's like, no, you're not supposed to censor people's messages. Give them the message. Let them deal with it. Because he's fucking harsh. He's very militant. He's not about the feelings. He's not about the feelings at all. You could be crying, sobbing, and the time I feel him put his hand on my shoulder and he'll be like, you'll get over it. You fucking asshole. You broke my brakes. Don't talk to me. That's what, for the few of you that watched that day when I realized when he admitted to me, he broke my fucking brakes on purpose and I started sobbing in that park. You'll see me like this because he's on and I'm like, get off of me, you fucking asshole. And he put his hand, you'll get over it. You're a dick, bro. You're a dick. Yeah, no, he's no pansy. You will get over it. You will. And he'll tell you, you'll get over it. He's not going to tell you not to stop. He's not going to tell you to stop crying. You know what I mean? He's not. He's not going to be like, oh, this is stupid. This is what. No, but he'll be blunt. You get over it. Just cry whatever you do. Get over it. It's like you're an asshole. You guys, we spent I think like 1,500 or 2 grand to ensure the brakes on the RV were in perfect running order. They changed the brake pads and all of that. I think the lines were checked as well. And he broke the brakes after that. I was like, "You're a fucking asshole, dude. Couldn't you?" And here's the thing, we thought that it was going to be like a couple $1,000s to fix the brakes, right? And we thought it was going to take a week. No, it was a quick fix. It was a master cylinder. It had a small leak, and they fixed that, and it was like a fraction of what we thought we were going to spend. So at least it wasn't, because I was like, couldn't you have broken something cheaper? No, he couldn't. He couldn't, because anything aside from the brakes, I would have left Colorado. I would have been like, fuck this shit. We're out. Let's go. I'll deal with whatever. Because I'm kind of like that. If I don't want to do it, I don't care if you punish me. I'm a masochist. I like it. I like it. So what? Yeah. So he knew that I wouldn't leave Colorado in an RV with broken brakes with my children in there. And I was so pissed off because I was like, my kids ride in that RV. How dare you endanger them? And he was like, there was no danger. What an asshole. Um, oh, that's Michael. Queen of Hearts, that's Michael. She says, Michael came to me long ago. I asked for a ritual in protection. He gave me very short instructions and was like, get it done. Yep, that's how he is. This, and this, do it. If you ask him how to do it, this, and this, do it. And then if you're like, oh, but what if, well, then don't do it. Because he's a dick. Time to wrap it up. You want to come up here and make me? He said, time to wrap it up. I don't think I read that right. Let me clean my glasses. Come up here and make me. Mhm. Come up here and make me. um, oh, you're welcome, Carmen. He is an ass. I love him too. Um, oh, Dory. I've seen some people tell others to welcome certain beings because they're angels, and I do the research on the names for them, and it says they're fallen angels. Lots of disinformation. Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, he's unplugging the Wi-Fi. I gotta go, guys. He's unplugging the Wi-Fi. Bye. Don't unplug it.